what happens in their quarrel and whether they can put an end to this quarrel and what will happen to the marriage proposal, that we are going to see now. So let us begin. L'Amour, Natalia Stefanova, I don't want the meadows, but I am acting on principle. If you like, I'll make you a present of them. So he says that, Natalia, I am not arguing. It is just about principle. The fact is that in documents also, my name is written that Oxon Meadows belongs to me. So I am just talking about principles. I am just stick to principles. If you want those meadows, we do not have to argue about that. I will present it to you. I will gift it to you, because ultimately he knows that if she will marry him, those meadows will again become his property. So now Natalia became angry because she didn't know about that. So she says that I can make you a present of them myself because they are mine. They are mine and I can make you present of them. But you cannot, because those meadows does not belongs to you, it is mine. So you cannot gift it to me, I can gift it to you. Your behavior, Ivan Vasilievich, is strange, to say the least. The way you are behaving today, it's very strange, and I should say it's worst. Because up to this, we have always thought of you as a good neighbor, a friend. We have always thought that you are our well-wisher. And for that, we have always helped you. Last year, we lent you our threshing machine. Just last year, when you needed the threshing machine to clean your crops, we lent you the threshing machine. And although on that account, we had to put off our own threshing till November. We had to delay our own threshing till November. But first we helped you. But you behaved to us as if we were gypsies. Gypsies, that means a group of nomadic people who travel from one place to another place. They do not hold any property. So here the Natalia is saying that the way you are talking to me, the way you are behaving with me, it seems that you consider us as gypsies, that we do not have any property and we are holding the property which belongs to other people. So the way you are counting us as gypsies, it's wrong. We are not gypsies, that property belongs to us, so you cannot gift it to us. We are not relying upon other properties. It is mine, that is why I am saying that it is mine. Giving me my own land indeed? No, really, that's not at all neighborly. In my opinion, it's even impudent, if you want to know. Impudent, that means not showing due respect for another person. So she says that, how can you give me my own land? Do you think we are gypsies and we do not have any property and we are holding other people's property? So it is not there. That meadows, Oxon Meadows belongs to us. That is why I am calling those meadows as mine. So you cannot gift it to me because it belongs to me already. That is not a neighborly behavior. How many favors we have done on you. You should be grateful to us. Instead of that, you are blaming me. So that is not at all neighborly behavior. Instead of that, I would make you clear, if you want to know, your behavior today is very impudent, disrespectful, and it is not tolerable. L'Amour, then you make out that I am a land grabber. So if you think that you are not gypsies and I am blaming you, that means you think that I am a land grabber. I want to grab your land. That is why I am saying that the land which belongs to you, that is mine. So I am grabbing your land. That is what you want to say. Madam, never in my life have I grabbed anyone's as land, and I shan't allow anybody to accuse me on having done so. Madam, I have never grabbed anyone's land in my life. Whatever I have got, that is with respect, and whichever I deserve, that is what I have got. I have not grabbed anything of anyone's else. And you cannot accuse me, you cannot blame me on that, because I will never do and I haven't do it ever. Quickly steps to the carafe and drink more water. Oxen widows are mine. Now as he was getting excited more and more and was getting cold, so to control his anger and his excitement, he again went to the carafe, that is the open topped glass flask used for serving wine or water in restaurant. So he drank water from them, and then he said after drinking that you cannot blame me. After drinking, he said, those widows belongs to me. Don't blame me that I am a land grabber. If you are not gypsies, we are also not land grabber. And whatever I am saying, that is truth. You cannot blame me on grabbing anyone's land. I have not done it ever in my life and I will not do it. Whatever I am saying, I am not trying to grab your land. I am just saying what is truth. That land belongs to me. That is why I am calling it to. That is why I am calling that widows are mine. So those widows are mine, and do not argue about that. Natalia, it's not true. They are ours. No, mine. It's not true. I'll prove it. I'll send my movers out to the widows this very day. What? My movers will be there this very day. Lomo, I'll give it to them in the neck. Movers, that means a person who cuts glass with a mover. So she says that, no, that widows belongs to us. Then they both were quarreling, no, it is mine, no, it is ours. So it continued, and then Natalia said that I will prove it, that those widows belongs to us. So today only I will send my movers to that widows, and I will clean the grass of those widows. And because that widows belongs to me, so I can do anything to those widows. So Lomo got angry and he said, if you will send your movers to my widows, I will give them in back. That means I will fight with them, because they cannot disrupt my land. You are saying that it belongs to you, so you can make it harm, but it does not belong to you, it is mine, and you cannot harm my property. I will not allow you to do that. So if you will send your movers to my widows to clean the grass, so I will fight with them. Now in this way, the proposal was left behind and they kept on quarreling that those oxen widows belongs to whom? Dare, Lomo clutches at his heart. Oxen widows are mine. You understand? Mine. Natalia, please don't shout. You can shout yourself hoarse in your own house. Shout at yourself in this rough tone at your own house. This is my house. But here I must ask you to restrain yourself, to control yourself, because this is my house. Hoarse, that is sounding rough or harsh, and restrain, that means to prevent from doing something, to control, or to stay within limit. So here, when Natalia said that I will send my movers into the oxen widows and they will clean the widows on my orders. So opposing her, Lomo said that if they will come, I will beat them. So Natalia got angry and she said, don't you dare do that. So Lomo clutches at his heart because he had the problem of palpitation. So he was not able to quarrel anymore. Because of that quarreling, he got pain in his heart, and he said that oxen widows are mine. You understand? Mine. Even in that pain, he is considering about that oxen widows only. Natalia says, please don't shout. Even when she can see the condition of Lomo, she is still quarreling. And she says that you can be harsh with yourself at your house, Don't be harsh with me, and this is my house, so I can restrain you, I can stop you, I can control you, or I can prevent you from being harsh with me or using this harsh tone with me at my house. So when you are at my house, be in limit. Lomo, if it wasn't, madam, for this awful, excruciating palpitation, if my whole inside wasn't upset, right now my whole inside is upset, that means inside my body I am not feeling fine and my complete body is paining, I would talk to you in a different way. And he yells, shouts, oxen meadows are mine. So now Lomo said in that pain, he says that if I would not have been in these conditions, then I would show you that I can also shout, and the way I am talking is very polite here. I would have talked with you in different tone, and then he shows it by yelling, by shouting. He shows that oxen meadows are mine. In this way I would have talked to you. But right now, as I am not well, I cannot fight with you. Otherwise, in this tone I would have talked with you. Excruciating, that means intensely painful, severe, acute, extreme. And palpitation, that means heartbeat. So he had extreme pain in his heart, and his heartbeat was going, was raising, and very slow, very fast and short breaths he was taking. So his heart rate increased, and that is why he got pain in his heart, and that is why he was not able to quarrel anymore. But still he continued by saying that if I would have been fine, then I would have shown you that in which tone I should talk to you. And he gave the example by yelling, by shouting. He said that those oxen meadows are mine. Now Natalia, they kept on calling, ours, Lomo, mine. Natalia, ours, Lomo, mine. And when they were shouting like animals, then Shubuko, Natalia's father, entered. And Shubuko said, what's the matter? Why are you shouting for? He was very happy because he thought that now the property of Lomo will be there, and if Natalia will accept the proposal, so they can be relatives and their economic status can be increased. So he was in those dreams, in those thoughts, but suddenly when he heard that they are shouting instead of making love, so he got surprised and he came down and he asked, what's the matter, why you all are shouting? Natalia, Papa, please tell this gentleman who owns Gentle Meadows, who owns oxen meadows, we or he. Tell this gentleman to whom this oxen meadows belongs, he or we. Lomo, then Shubuko to Lomo, darling, the meadows are ours. Now they are from the same family, so it is obvious that their answer will be same. Lomo, but please, Stefan Stefanovich, how can they be yours? Do be a reasonable man. Then Lomo was already in anger and even he had pain, so he was not able to quarrel. But still they kept on quarreling and they kept on arguing about this matter. So he could not control himself and he said, please be a reasonable man. Think something and give some reasonable answer. How can you say that those meadows are yours? Because in documents my name is written already. My aunt's grandmother gave the meadows for the temporary and free use of your grandfather's peasants. He told Shubuko that to your grandfather's peasant, my aunt's grandmother had given that land for free use, and that was also for temporary use. The peasants used the land for 40 years and got accustomed, that means got habitual to it as if it was their own. Where it happened that now again he was continuing, but in between he got interrupted. So he said that Again, I am making you clear that my aunt's grandmother gave these widows to your grandfather for use and for temporary, and that was also free. But then, as your peasant worked there for 40 years, they started counting it as their own land. And that is why you have the misunderstanding that these widows belongs to you, but actually they are mine. In documents, my name is written. Shubhako, excuse me, my precious. Yet he is being humble because he yet is not the part of that quarrel, but right now he is about to be the part of that quarrel. So still he is being polite and humble and maintaining his rich level status. So he says, excuse me, my precious, you forget is this, that the peasants didn't pay your grandmother and all that because the widows were in dispute and so on. And now everybody knows that they are ours. It means that you haven't seen the plan. So now he says that you are missing something. Remember that peasants were not paying to your grandmother at all. That means those widows belongs to us, and at that time those widows were in dispute. That is why they were not paying the money to anyone. They were not paying the rent to anyone. So after that dispute being solved, it was clear that this widows belongs to us and they are not yours. I think you haven't seen the plan of that widows. Blueprint of those widows or document of those widows. See it clearly, those belongs to us. So Lamont says, I prove to you that they are mine. I have the proof and I can prove it to you. Shubhako, you won't prove it, my darling. You won't be able to prove it. Lamont, I shall. Shubhako, dear one, why yell like that? Why are you shouting like that? You won't prove anything just by yelling. Nothing can be proved by shouting. I don't want anything of yours and don't intend to give up what I have. The same thing he repeated, just as Natalia said, that I don't want anything of yours, but I won't give up anything which belongs to me. Why should I? Why should I give up my things for you, and why should I take your things? And you know, my beloved, that if you propose to go on arguing, if you continue to do this argument about it, I would much sooner give up the widows to the peasant than to you there. So he said that, so if you want to argue with me on this, so I will give these widows to peasants rather than giving to you. I don't think that I should give these widows to such a quarrelsome person. So better than giving those widows to you, I will give that to peasants. It won't be with me, it won't be with you. And I will give those widows to peasants. They will work on it. So if you will behave like this with me, I won't tolerate it and you will have to pay for that by losing your widows. Lamont, I don't understand, how have you the right to give away somebody as property? Who gave you the right that you can give someone as property to peasants? That property belongs to me. How can you give it to peasants? And how can you say that you will not give that property to me? It already belongs to me. Shubhako, you may take it that I know whether I have the right or not. Because young men are not used to being spoken to in that tone of voice and so on. And I, young man, am twice your age and ask you to speak to me without agitating yourself and all that. He is saying that behave yourself and show some morals and ethics. This is not the way to behave with your neighbors. I am twice of your age. I am elder than you and I am twice of your age. So you should be polite and humble. I am not used to be talking or to be speaking in this kind of tone. No one else talked with me like this. So I am not used to of it, and do not try to speak with me like this. not talk with me like this. Be in manner. So he says that you may take it, you can consider it however you want to consider, whether that meadows belongs to you or me, however you want to consider it, you can. But remember one thing, I'm not used to being spoken in that kind of tone. So do not be that harsh or do not use that loud tone with me. Because I am twice of your age, being an elder, you should respect me. And you should speak with me without being angry, without being agitating. And control yourself from being angry and all that. So he says that respect your elders, that is the manner of human, that is the manner of people. You should have that manner. When you are talking to someone else, when you are talking to your elders, you should be humble, polite, and your tones should be soft. But the way you are talking with me, I won't tolerate it. Lomo, no, you just think I'm fool and want to help me on. I think you think that I'm a fool, or if you don't think, then you are trying to make me fool. You call my land yours and then you want me to talk to you calmly and politely. You are telling that my property belongs to you. You are saying that my land belongs to you, and then you want me to be calm and polite. When you are being unfair, how can you expect me to be fair with you? Good neighbors don't behave like that. You are a land grabber, and good neighbors do not behave like that. They do not call other properties as their own. So that is also not the moral or ethics. That is also not the proper way to behave. Stefan Stefanovich, you are not a neighbor, you are a grabber. You are not a neighbor. Here he rhymed. He says that you are not a neighbor, you are not supportive, but you are a grabber. You are grabbing my land. Shubhko, what's that? What did you say? You cursed me? You used bad words against me? So he got now angry. Now all that, my dear, my treasure, went away in vain. Natalia, Papa, send those movers out to the meadows at once. Right now, send those peasants, those workers in the meadows and clear that meadow. Right now. Shubhko, what did you say, sir? Again, he is in surprise, in shock, and he says, what you just said? You say that I am a grabber? Natalia, now Lomo is not saying anything because he is having pain in his heart. And Shubhko is in surprise when that beloved one, that treasure, that pleasant surprise present, or that dear one, neighbor, told him that you are not a neighbor, you are a grabber. So he was in shock the way Lomo talked with Shubhko. So he again repeated, what did you say, sir? Natalia kept on arguing, kept on fighting. She says, ox and meadows are ours and I shan't give them up. Shan't give them up, I shan't give them up. I will not give them up. I will not leave them at any cost. So when you emphasize on something, that time you will use I, and with I you will use shall or shall not. When you emphasize on something, at that time you can use shall with I. So here she is emphasizing that ox and meadows belongs to us and I shan't give them up. I shan't leave them. Lomo, we'll see. I'll have the matter taken to court and then I'll show you. Now, if you kept on arguing, then I don't have any other option, and what I'm going to do, let you know that I am going to take this matter to the court and then I will show you to whom these meadows belong. There we will see. Shubhko, to court? You can take it to court and all that. You can. I know you. You are just on the lookout for a chance to go to court and all that. I know you. You are just on the lookout for a chance to go to court and all that. You petty forward. All your people were like that. All of them. Petty forward, that means an inferior legal practitioner, especially one who deals with petty cases or employs dubious practices. Those practices which are illegal or are not fair. So he says that, I know you want to go to court because you want to grab our property, you want to grab our money, and you want to do illegal practices for that, just to get our property. I know you this kind of people. Even not only you, your whole family, your whole family members were like that. All of you are same. All of you are petty forward. Petty forward, that means the one who practice illegal activities. Lemo, never mind about my people. The Lemos have all been honorable people, and not one has ever been tried for embezzlement. Embezzlement, that means misappropriation of cash or property. Like your grandfather. Embezzlement, that means theft or misappropriation of fund placed in one's trust or belonging to one's employer. The thing which belongs to someone else that you have counted on your name, that you have transferred on your name. So here Lemo says, you don't need to bother about my family members or about my family. You consider about your family, because my family members have always been respectful and they have never grabbed anything of anyone else. And they have never done any kind of embezzlement, any kind of misappropriation. They have never said anything which does not belong to them. They have never counted it as their own property. But just they are not like your grandfather. Your grandfather had done embezzlement, the thing which was given to him on charity for free use, which was given by my aunt's grandmother. He counted it as his own, and that is why he did this embezzlement. And your family members are like that, not my family members. So you should better concern your own family rather than mine, because I know my family members are not grabber and they have not done any kind of embezzlement in their life. But your family members are of that kind, and even you are of that kind. Shubho, you Lomos have had lunacy in your family. All of you, Natalia. All. Shubho, your grandfather was a drunkard. And your younger aunt, Nastasia Mihailovna, ran away with an architect, and so on. So, now, drunkard, that means a person who is habitually drunk. Lunacy, that is the state of being lunatic insanity. Now he showed his real face, what he feels about Lomos. He says that all of your family members, all of you Lomos are insane. All of you are mad. And Natalia says, all. She is again supporting her father by saying that, yes, it is very true that all Lomos, all of your family members are insane. Then Shubuko continued blaming him. Your grandfather was a drunkard. That is why he is no more, and your grandmother was handling all it alone. And your younger aunt, Nastasia Mihailovna, ran away with an architect. So they all are of that kind. So in this way, your blood has the fault. And your mother was humpbacked, clutches at his heart. Something pulling in my side, my head, help, water. Now he is having too much pain and he is not able to stand properly, or he is not in the condition to talk with them. And when they started accusing, then he wanted to answer them, he wanted to give them reply, and he was also in anger. In same tone, he also blamed them that your mother, that means the grandmother of Natalia, was humpbacked. That means even she looked ugly and Natalia is also ugly. But then suddenly, when Shubuko's family was showing the fault, the drawbacks of Lomo family, then Lomo could not control himself and he also started blaming them and showing the drawbacks or fallbacks of Shubuko family. So now that quarrel did not just was at the level of Natalia and Lomo, but they went to their ancestors and they started blaming their whole generation, their whole family. So that quarrel went deeper and deeper. But as his health was not proper, he could not bear that shouting and that quarrel, and he felt something which was pulling in his heart. So he was about to get heart attack. He had the pain in his heart. And he said that even my head, my heart, everything is paining. I need help. Please provide me water. Even he was not able to speak it clearly and properly in a sentence. He just spoke a word because he was not able to speak it completely. Shubuko, he did not consider the condition of Lomo. He kept on arguing, he kept on blaming, he kept on quarreling. Shubuko, your father was a guzzling gambler. Hump, that means a rounded protuberance found as an abnormality on the back of a person. That means he said to Shubuko that your mother was abnormal. That is why your family is insane, not my family. Guzzling, that means greedy, and gambler, that is a person who gambles or spectator. So now Shubuko says that Lomo, your father was a gambler, was a greedy gambler. So if you want to show the drawbacks of our family, I will show you more than that. How your family was. Consider that first. So in this way they kept on quarreling, they kept on blaming each other and they kept on arguing. Now the matter was on widows and they started quarreling and blaming each other's family. And those ancestors which are now not even alive are being blamed by them. And they forgot that proposal. Natalia, and there haven't been many backbiters to equal your aunt. She is a backbiter. You can see that how they are cursing each other's family. Lomo, my left foot has gone to sleep. You're an intriguer. Oh my heart. And it's an open secret that before the last elections, you breathe. I can see stars. Where's my hat? Intriguer, that is someone who tricks, deceives or cheats. So you are cheater. Now Natalia kept on blaming and she said that, and there haven't been many backbiters to equal your aunt. There is no one or there are not many people just like your aunt. She is a backbiter. She would be something else in front of us and behind us, at the back of us, she would step or she would act differently. So in this way, she was two-faced girl. She was two-faced lady. And that is why she was backbiter. Now Lomo said that you are also a cheater. You can't call my aunt as backbiter or cheater, but instead of that, you are a cheater. Your whole family is cheater. And you are an intriguer. But at the same time, he was having pain in his heart and slowly that whole body was started getting effect of his palpitation. And his left foot has gone to sleep. His heart was paining, but He kept on quarreling with them. He could not control his anger. And in that pain too, neither the family of Natalia was considering him, and nor Lomo tried to control his anger, but they kept on quarreling. And then he says, I can see stars. Raise my head. Everything has gone black and dark. I am not able to see anything. And at that time also, he said that it is open secret that at the time of election, you breathe, but he could not speak anything more than that. And he fell down. Natalia, it's low, it's dishonest, it's mean, Shubho, and you are just a malicious, double-faced intriguer. Yes, Lomo. Here's my head, my heart. Which way? Where's the door? Oh, I think I'm dying. My foot is quite numb. Goes through the door. Numb, that means deprived of the power of physical sensation. So he could not feel anything in his body. His senses had stopped working. He could not feel or he could not sense anything. Malicious, that is, intending or intended to do harm. So now, even though they could see the condition of Lomo, but they did not try to help him out. Instead of that, they gave more importance to their quarrel. And they kept on blaming, cursing each other, using great words for each other. Now, here we can see that how much they respected each other's family. And Natalia said, it's low, it's dishonest, and it's mean. The way you are talking, it's very low, it's very disrespectful and dishonest, and you are being very mean. The way you are behaving, it's completely not bearable. Shubuko, then he said, you are malicious. That means you are very harmful and you intentionally harm our family. You are double-faced, intriguer. In front of us, you would act something else, but at the back of us, you think about us something else. You are not a well-wisher, but you are backstabber. Yes, indeed, you are not a kind or a good person as you show yourself. Inside yourself, there is a person who intentionally do harm to the people. You are double-faced intriguer. Now Lomo was not able to control his pain and he was not able to control his body. He lost his senses and his power, and he lost his control over his own body. He says, here's my head, my heart. Which way? Where's the door? I want to go out of here. I cannot tolerate this quarreling. Oh, I think I'm dying. My foot's quite numb. They are not able to control the body weight, and I have lost my physical sensation. I have lost my senses and I have lost my power. Then somehow he went to door and he left the house. But still behind him they kept on cursing him. So in this way the proposal was left, and those people who were being very respectful to each other, who were showing affection for each other, right now they are cursing each other, they are fighting with each other just for the piece of land. Now even the Shubuko family did not have any proof, but still they kept on quarreling. And even though they could see the condition of Lomo, they did not stop the quarreling and they did not even try to help him. But their main focus was on that quarrel and on that dispute. They did not even consider the condition, the health of Lomo. And somehow Lomo managed himself to go out of the house.